Hello guys, welcome back to Garage Football. Here's our live watch along to Porto versus Chelsea in the Champions League quarterfinals first leg. Would say held in Porto in Portugal, but because of coronavirus, it's been held at neutral venue at Sevilla's stadium. Both legs actually. So this is the first leg. So Porto are technically the home team in this leg. So those watching, please subscribe to Garage Football if you're new, and leave your thoughts, match thoughts, comments, etc. In the live chat. We'll get to those. So I'm joined by Wiz again, Chelsea fan. We were together for the Atletico Madrid game last time, mate, and Chelsea did very well over the two legs. And I think you wanted Porto in this round. So your thoughts ahead of tonight's game, mate? No, unmute yourself, mate.
Typical. Yeah, pretty happy with the draw. I think I see it's like pretty racy, which I regret after last night, which is I think I'd most like Real Madrid. Kind of glad we didn't get in there because last night they looked sensational. But yeah, Porto. I think there was a rumour going around. I heard in the Tuchel press conference that Pepe had been telling his teammates that Chelsea celebrated when they drew Porto, which is almost certainly not true. But I think they would have been within their rights to have a quiet kind of smile, I think, and be pretty happy with that draw. I mean, obviously, but yeah, I think we should be quietly confident.
Yeah, I think we're in the quarters now, so no matter who you play, it's going to be a tough game, isn't it? So
Absolutely.
But even though Porto got a couple of injuries and suspensions, they've still got a decent side out. So we're just over 10 minutes away from a kickoff. We'll just run through the lineups while we're waiting. So we'll start with technically the away side tonight, Chelsea. So Mendy in goal, looks like a back three or back five. That's for the Christensen and Rudiger, and then the wing backs James and Chilwell, and Kovacic and Jorginho holding with a front three of Havertz, Mount, and Timo Werner. So thoughts on that starting lineup, mate?
I think you would probably, I mean, apart from Havertz, that would pick itself, that lineup, I would say pretty much. Yeah, I think the five at the back has been solid for us. It's the major thing, really, that he changed when he came into to kind of shore us up defensively a little bit. Kovacic and Jorginho, the sort of double pivot without Kante. I think we were just talking about, didn't think he was going to be available at all, but he's on the bench.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think the only thing you might have thought you would see is Alonso rather than Chilwell at fullback or wing back, because he's sort of favoured him actually quite a lot early on. But I think Chilwell's coming into his own now a little bit and proving himself to Tuchel. But again, Mount, Havertz is in again, but he is picking up in form, so hopefully he continues that. And I think he goes well with Werner. I think he can open the space up. Again, we might have a situation like in the Atletico game where the centre-halves aren't the quickest in the world. They're not going to play a progressive sort of possession game or anything like that. So, partly a matter of working in between the lines. And if they do stray out, Werner's sitting behind. And, fingers crossed that happens as he did against Atletico.
Yeah, no, definitely. Well, I think you must have been. Are you still shocked over the 5-2 defeat on Saturday?
No, I'm old. I've watched football a long time, and something Tuchel said in his press conference, which was absolutely right, is every other way you cut it, apart from those goals, which is the most important thing without question. But every way you cut it, we should have won that game, even with 10 men. By every measure, we were dominant. What we missed, it was quite excruciating to watch because we missed so many chances. But absolute kudos to them and fantastic. But I think Tuchel's line was, if we played that game and everything went the same way it did, 99 times out of 100 we'd have won it, and that's absolutely true.
Yeah, he said that in his presser, didn't he?
Yeah.
So we'll run through Porto's lineup quickly. So they're missing one of their key players, Sergio Oliveira. I think he's their top scorer. He's got 12 goals this season, which could go for a midfielder like Frank Lampard numbers, that is. So we'll run through Porto's lineup. Well, UEFA got Porto as a 4-4-2, so I might butcher a few of these names. I do apologise. So in goal we've got Marchestin, a back four of Manafer, Mbemba, Pepe, and Zaidu, a midfield four of Corona, Grujic, Uribe, and Otavio, and then a front two of Maragba, and Luis Diaz. So yeah, still some decent players out for Porto. They're second in the Premier Liga, behind Sporting Lisbon, who look like going to win the league this season. But yeah, as I say, they're second, and they've still got some good players, even though they've got a couple of suspensions and injuries. And obviously, they beat Juventus in the last round, which was a bit of a shock. So there won't be any pushovers today, Porto.
Yeah, and I think, as I said, Pepe apparently made this comment to his teammates about the Chelsea players celebrating when they heard the draw. As I say, I think that's unlikely.
A bit of shithousery from Pepe, I think.
Absolutely. I mean, you would never think it. You would never think he's a gentleman. He's the kind of Portuguese Gary Lineker. But he's such a gent. But no, he's. I mean, I think. He's scum, isn't he? But he's the kind of guy. If he plays for your side, I mean, we had one, John Terry, who used to play up. But in terms of shithousery, he's got nothing.
Costa as well.
He was horrible. Yeah, he absolutely. I mean, filth. I would have hated him had he played for any other team, and I don't like him now. He plays for Atletico. I didn't like him when he played for Atletico before. But amazing guy for your team, and yeah, he knows what he's doing. He's 38 now, Pepe. So, he's been around and he knows how to kind of create a siege mentality, and they'll need that because on paper, with a much, much stronger side than them. As you say, their top goal scorer is out. He's a bit of a pen-loaded player, a bit like Cristiano Ronaldo. And, their second top scorer in Liga NOS is out, suspended as well. So, yeah, we'll see how they play it. I don't know much about Paul. I don't see enough of Liga NOS anymore, certainly. To say, but I think you have to look at the Juve result and be scared of them, really, because Juve are no mugs. He's fine, but still not mugs.
Yeah, I think that's probably one of the shocks of the previous round that Porto managed to get through. So yeah, won't be a pushover for Chelsea. But what do you think of what do you think Tuchel's going to aim for tonight? Same as the first leg of their previous round against Atletico Madrid. Try and keep a clean sheet and nick a goal.
I think it should be approached even tactically almost exactly the same. I'll be staggered if they come out and try and play a really progressive game. If they do, I think they'll get picked apart. Mason Mount in the hole, Werner in behind, Havertz dropping deeper. You've got two basically 10s playing in the front line. But I think he'll go for exactly the same. I think we'll be looking very high press, the kind of things he's really good at. A high, very well organised press. Really good in transition, and some of our kind of, I think he's working the training ground, a kind of very intricate pattern play, looking for specific weaknesses and rehearsing them. Some of that hopefully will pay off, but yeah, it will be us. I'm quite sure taking it to them, having a majority of possession, and hoping they don't do the one thing we're very weak on, which is the counter, and that'll be the game really.
Yeah, no, definitely. So just over 5 minutes away from kickoff. What's your score prediction then, Wiz?
I think we're going to win 4-1.
4-1 tonight.
Yeah.
that is confidence personified, mate.
I just fancy us. I think West Brom is the worst thing that could have happened to Porto. And I saw also Kovacic, who I think is a very charming guy generally. He looks so relaxed in the press conference. I don't know. I just fancy us actually. But you watch them beat us 4-1 now.
Yeah.
But
if you jinxed it now, mate.
Well, I sometimes do have a crazy prediction, and they really come off. But I just fancy us. I think we'll just outclass them. And I think the Atletico result was given that confidence, really.
Yeah, I think Porto's manager, I think he said something similar to what you did about Chelsea losing to West Brom at the weekend is not what they wanted. I'm trying to find his quotes because I think he said something. Yes, Sergio Conceição.
Yeah,
I wish they had won the last game rather than lost. A defeat like that serves as a warning. It sets the alarm bells off and makes everyone more alert to danger. So, but before that, obviously that shocking defeat. I mean, Chelsea hadn't lost a game under Tuchel since she took over. What was that, 12, 13 games, was it? Something like that?
Incredible. I thought it was even more than that, but it's incredible. Maybe I thought it was 17, but again, I might be exaggerating because I'm a Chelsea fan. But yeah, I think he's done brilliantly. I think we'll see how results go for the next few weeks and the kind of response he gets then. Because I think it's worth remembering the run that Lampard had. And I still think he was probably treated a little harshly. I'm really happy to have Tuchel. I think it's fantastic. But yeah, and his major contribution has really been defensively, as everyone's noticed. And some of it is organising the press, which Lampard's Chelsea were really weak with. And the other thing is going 5 at the back, which Lampard did originally, and probably, I don't know. It'd be interesting to hear in future what kind of pressures he felt to play those players that have been brought in and that kind of thing. So, yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Right, so the players are coming out, so there'll be Champions League game will be playing shortly. I'm going to go. Well, I think I'm going to repeat the first leg of the Madrid first leg, so I'm going to go 1-0 Chelsea.
I'll take that as well. 4-1 might be optimistic.
Take that point, mate. Yeah.
Technically, the way, yeah. I'll happily take that.
Yeah, so as I said, players are coming out. So it's as I said at the start, both of these legs are being played at Sevilla Stadium because of the COVID sort of restrictions between Portugal and England. So both are being held in Spain, neutral venue. So it's a lovely stadium, Sevilla's stadium. I went there. It must be about 15 years ago. Was when this is when Freddie Canute was at Sevilla.
Oh, right. Nice.
Formerly of West Ham and Tottenham, and he scored twice. And Sevilla beat Levante 4-0.
Yeah, he was very good for that. I remember them playing Barca, being Barca at their absolute pomp. I think he was up front, and he was a big part of that, holding up the ball. And yeah, a bit of an underrated player, actually. I'm not sure we saw the best of him over here, but good technician.
Yeah, no, very good. I think just a bit injury prone. If there was anything that held Canute back over. Yeah. So it's great stadium. Again, shame there's no fans there, but it's not a bad place to have a neutral venue. But it's weird that both games have been held here. But I suppose that's just a sign of the times, isn't it? So as we said, Porto are technically the home side tonight. So Chelsea, if they can try and get an away goal if possible, you know what I mean? Yeah,
absolutely. I mean, I think this has been said before. I think maybe Sir Alex said something about the value of away goals and things like that. That they're incredibly valuable if you look at the amount of ties that have been decided over time on away goals. And I think if, apart from the fact it's kind of Tuchel's style and the style for which the new Chelsea players especially have been bought. I think if we needed any more owners to go and really take the game to them, that would be it. And maybe it's a leveler playing at this neutral venue, because I actually going to Porto, I think would give them a major advantage. I think in front of all their fans, especially. I think this even works in our favour, really. The only drawback I can see is that kit we're wearing, which is frankly abysmal.
If you win 4-1 like you predicted, I don't think you care what colour the kit is.
Well, no. Maybe I should do that. Maybe I'll get one of those shirts if we win 4-1. But
well, we'll see. Right, so just hit 8 o'clock. So kickoff's going to get underway shortly. Has it already started for you though, Wiz?
No, I'm just looking at. They're just showing the lineups. Kovacic on the booking. So if he gets another one, he's out for the next leg. Ziyech on the bench after a really probably the best game I've seen playing this Chelsea shirt in the last game. But maybe it is cautious with Mount and a bit more defensive output from him and things like that. So, but yeah.
Good stuff. I think I'm slightly ahead of you, mate, because I think we're just about to kick off. Looks like.
Okay. Well, I'll watch your signal. I'll let you know when I see it. Here we go. Yeah.
All right, and we've kicked off. So Chelsea kicking from left to right in this first period. But yeah, it'd be interesting to see if it sort of mirrors the Atletico Madrid game. I mean, we watched it with watched both legs, didn't we? And Chelsea dominated the ball for the majority of both legs, and took their chances when they could have restricted Atletico to minimal chances, considering Madrid's stellar sort of front players.
Yeah.
So, if they can do something similar, then you'd fancy them to get through.
Yeah, and I guess I think maybe it's a bit of a silly prediction I made, but I suppose the calculus is if you put Suarez, Llorente, whoever else, they've got Tom Alamar, they've got Yannick Carrasco who plays, and Yao Felix. That they, and I just showing on my screen, Conceição, they don't have a player with those standards of Atletico, and they don't have a player with Conceição's standard, that's for sure. Brilliant Portuguese player. So, that's really the rationale, I think, and I think that they look like they're pressing up early on though. So we'll see what we can do, whether they think we're weak playing around at the back, which they may have some cause to believe.
Yeah, I'm just coming up to a minute and a half.
Yeah, I think I'm about 20 seconds behind you. Yeah.
No, it's no dramas. Bit early possession is sort of predicted from Chelsea. They're keeping it ball. So go on with, sorry, mate.
The thing I was just going to say, in that very first kind of bit of play and transition there, the Porto players were virtually up on the halfway line, the defensive line.
Yeah.
We've got Jorginho this time, and we've got Burma, and that, if they might be our cut off the supply to Jorginho, but if they do give him space, that is his bread and butter all day long.
Yeah, exactly. I think this is probably why. Was that ball behind? That's well picked up by Porto there, well defended. That's probably why Tuchel might be playing a wing-back system to obviously get width, and Porto playing a sort of traditional 4-4-2 as well. So I read up about Porto sort of before the game. So was that all flash across the box by Havertz? I think it was. But James has got it on the right hand side. Plays it back to Kovacic, is it? Oh no, Azpilicueta that was. And it's Azpilicueta again. They're very hard working, these Porto players. You've got to be if you're playing a 4-4-2, but you can see that straight. You can see that straight away with how they press the ball.
Yeah, and over on the right side, whether it's quite going to be a 6 like it was for Atletico, but that midfield are going to drop in and help, and they're going to have to in a heavy way. One just remark on that Havertz cross. That is the advantage or disadvantage of playing a false 9 in this system, is that we don't have a 9 basically. So that ball went across the box, and they're just showing every player right now. He's crying to be put in by someone, and that is the disadvantage of it. Whether it pulls the centre backs out, we'll see.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see if the front three are they going to be staying in those positions, or they're going to be fluid and interchange. So I think something to look out for, definitely, as the game goes on, and as Havertz gets fouled there. Who's he fouled by? Mbemba, the centre back, number 19.
Oh yeah. Yeah, as you say, I think they'll interchange positions, and I think that takes a bit of pressure off Havertz actually, in terms of him, trying to do too much or anything like that. He can actually get a lot of the ball through his movement.
Just play his game.
Yeah, exactly. I think I did hear a remark, which wasn't true, by the way. From there's that French football journalist, Jules, his name is. He's really good. He's on ESPN. Good journalist.
Yeah. I know what you mean.
He was, well, how can you expect Havertz to play well if he's continuously being played out of position? It's just simply not true under Lampard. But when he scored all his goals for Leverkusen, that he was up front. So hopefully we see a bit more output from him. And he's showing real signs of getting better and getting into games a lot more. But he was shocking when he came. Very cool.
It was, Chelsea won it out the front very well there. Is James on the right? Heads it down. I think is that Jorginho up there? And when a throw Chelsea. Oh no, it was Mount. Sorry, I was going to say Jorginho got a nosebleed being that high up. Here's James. Nice bit of early possession for Chelsea's Mount. That's for Quetta. So yeah. Well, I mean, if you're going to turn up and sort of make your mark on the season, Havertz, Werner, all those players, you get Ziyech on the bench. Tonight's the night, isn't it?
Absolutely. This is, I mean, it doesn't get better than the Champions League for me. I don't know, there might be traditionalists, but there's nothing like the Champions League. The football you can see from this stage on really can be, I mean, invariably it's really good. And sometimes you see some outrageous games.
As we saw from the games last night.
Oh, well, yeah. I didn't know what games to watch, but I watched Real Liverpool and it was, I mean, pure entertainment. Liverpool being so poor provided a lot of that entertainment, but yeah, really, really, really good game.
I didn't manage to watch it, unfortunately, but I watched the highlights of both games. They looked absolutely stellar, and that was just from the 5-minute highlights. It's a short corner, and Mount takes it. I should have got it on the box, really, but they still got it. So played up the pitch. The goalkeeper's going to easily get that one. Missed opportunity there. Should have put it in the mixer, as Sunday League managers always say.
Yeah, I'm just seeing that sort of routine now. Push them back. I think looks like they anticipated it, Porto.
Yeah, no, they did. No, they did well, to be fair. But opening kind of the 7 minutes, been a bright start by Chelsea.
Yeah, very very similar to the Atletico game, except I think in both games, both legs of that last 16 tie, they really showed their teeth in the first 5 minutes. It really spooked us, I think, in the first leg for a period. It was a moment to get back into it, really. But yeah, very happy so far, and probably exactly what we'd have anticipated, I think.
Yeah, no, definitely. Porto have won a free kick here on the right hand side.
Very soft one, looks like to me.
Yeah, I think it was Kovacic was it who gave it away, but yeah, it did look a bit soft. Free kick from the right hand touchline, so surely they're going to put it in the box for the likes of Pepe to go and attack.
Yeah, this may very well be their biggest threat during the game.
Yeah, it might well be. Ball comes in. Oh, they play it short as well. Oh my god, that is it's all about playing it short. Oh my god, that is awful. You're playing it behind his teammate. Lost momentum. And goes back to the goalkeeper.
Well, I'm just catching up. The refs having a word with me. I'm looking forward to this.
But Chelsea got it now.
Oh wow, that is
bad, isn't it?
I think the reaction was right. That is outrageous.
Yeah, that's 2 opportunities missed, you have to say, from both sides.
Yeah.
I don't mind corner routines, something different, play it short, but play it short and then play it in the box. Don't play it short and play it back to the goalkeeper. What a waste of time.
Yeah, that's actually another thing that I think, hallowed be his name, Graham Potter, is really good on. He's kind of a bit of invention, and I just generally love him, to be honest. Yeah, when you get it right, when you get it wrong, like everything else,
it looks awful.
Polish. Yeah,
no, it does. So Chelsea got it back. Reece James about to take a throw to Havertz. He's been impressive, James. I mean, surely he's as Gary Neville and Jamie Carragher found out. I mean, there's a lot of players to pick from at right back. He's certainly within a shout, though.
Yeah, Jamie Carragher hasn't worked out the difference between being asked a question and actually thinking something. If you watch Gary Neville, poor old Gary Neville, I think very rare that I would say poor old Gary Neville, but yeah, I mean, when we were last on here for the second leg of the Atletico game, I said I don't think Trent has done enough, and I don't think he's done enough, and I think last night has not helped him. My explanations of him and the season he had when they won the title couldn't be higher. I think he was just from another galaxy. He's an absolute genius season. But form is a thing.
Well, that's the thing, mate. Sometimes it works in your favour, sometimes it doesn't. I mean, if obviously the tournament was meant to be held, was obviously last year, then you'd think Trent would walk into probably even the first 11 quite easily. But now, a year on, this year delays has benefited some players and hindered others, and he's one of the latter. Yeah,
and I think he's maybe someone who in an elite side like Liverpool definitely were. I think they've still got it in the locker, really. But an elite side like Liverpool were last year and have been for a few seasons under Klopp. Being that sort of David Beckham at right back works very well if you're that dominant. I think this is what Gary Neville said in fairness. It's very good when you're dominant. It's very hard when you're not. You can't. I think they look knackered. They can't run, so they're not keeping the ball well. And I think it's very hard to be that kind of guy. And everyone always knew his defensive work was, weak. Definitely the weakest part of his game. But I hope he comes back because his talent is ludicrous, like incredible talent. Oh yeah,
no, I think he'll. Yeah, it's one of those. Yeah, form temporary, and you can see the classy player he is. Porto, oh, that's a good cross. Oh, it's well blocked. Christensen, the thing is, with the block from, I'm trying to see who it was. Yeah, good, nice play from Porto. Oh, they're still going. Oh, it's well cleared by Reece James. So the first time really in this opening sort of 11 and a bit minutes, Porto having a bit of pressure.
Mm-hmm. I'm just looking.
Oh, that's just over. Oh, what an effort that was. You'll see in a minute, Wiz. I'm trying to see who it was. I can't see the shirt number, but it's cleared by Christensen. He gets on the volley. Oh, yeah. One touch to control. And then a volley.
Would have been an absolute screamer, that.
I think it's it's number 8. Uribe with the volley. Yeah, Christensen heads it out. He takes one touch, doesn't let it bounce, then volleys straight away. And that's not too far over. Mendy wasn't sure where that was going.
Well, that's sensational technique. I mean, the goalie's well beaten.
Oh yeah,
yeah, lovely, fantastic strike. Yeah, they've shown a bit of, and I'm watching us in the corner trying to get the ball out. They're showing a willingness to press, so they're maybe playing a bit more front foot than maybe anticipated. And they had it scrambled.
Well, I mean, he's on the halfway line. He's the furthest. He's the he's the deepest. Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, and this is. I mean, in the first kind of attack or transition in play we saw, they looked really high. That shows confidence and fair play to them. Again, it's I'm surprised at that, but
yeah, I reckon they would have looked at Atletico Madrid how they set up against Chelsea, and it was just the wrong approach. It was far too deep, weren't they? Obviously, as a Chelsea fan, you were quite happy with that, but from if your opposition point of view, as Porto tonight, then they're doing the opposite, and it's worked well this past sort of 2-3 minutes. They've had the better of things, and they've had the best chance with that group volley. I've just seen the replay of it, and Mendy was absolutely stranded. That's on target. That's a goal.
Yeah, I think Atletico started with that intention to press high, and I remember in the second half we were kind of, they're really having a go first up, and then they dropped off because it takes courage to play like that, and they were.
Oh, they're in the box again. Oh, it's.
Oh God, it doesn't sound good for us.
No, it goes out of play if it just messes up. Trying to see who that was. Oh yeah. No, it's the fullback Zaidu gets in the left hand side. I think he tries to find his teammates in the box and he just slips over. But another good bit of play from Porto. They're passing the ball around pretty nicely.
They really are. They really are. That 4-1 is not looking like a good call at the moment, but no, they look really good. They're really moving the ball well.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. No, it's been on paper, Wiz, you probably say this one is the least exciting of the 4 ties, but it's still a very good. Chelsea had been doing well under Tuchel, and Porto obviously beat Juventus. So on paper that it's not weak because there's no weak teams now. But do you see what I'm saying? There's still a good amount of quality on the pitch.
Oh yeah, for sure. And I mean, I think we're a pretty good side to watch. A really exciting side we've been for the past couple of seasons to watch. But as I said, I think the Champions League is such a high level that no one probably would choose to watch this over Bayern PSG.
Yeah.
Like a replay of last year's final, which was a really interesting game. But yeah, I mean, obviously as a Chelsea fan, it means a lot to us. And as I say, when you get in the knockout phase of the Champions League, you always get something from the game. I think there's so much quality, or there's so much at stake. There's always something. There's some drama, some really fantastic play, some controversy. There's always something that's going to keep your interest, I think.
Especially at this stage, the quarters onwards. Yeah, definitely. Well, you can say that for any competition, but especially the Champions League and even the Europa League to a certain extent. Some of the group stage games and early knockout games can be pretty rubbish in the Europa League, but quarterfinals onwards, obviously you've got Champions League sides who finish third in the group stage are in at that stage, and the quality goes up massively. Here's Chelsea on the attack though. Oh, James is in. Oh, the goalkeeper just gets there. Well anticipated. If he was a bit more hesitant, James is in there, but the goalkeeper does well to get there just before him. There's plenty of space for James to attack there. Absolutely no one was marking him. You see it in a minute, boys.
Yeah, I'm just watching it. Oh,
I can't remember who he picked. I think it might have been Havertz, was it, who tried to pick him out? Or might have been Mount. Can't really see on the on this camera angle, but it was a right ball. But yeah, the goalkeeper anticipated brilliantly.
Yeah, picked out the cross. Yeah, I think I don't know where it was over there. Was it Mount come back on into his right foot? I can't quite tell.
Yeah,
but yeah,
I think it was Mount or Havertz from what I could see. But yeah, it's a good pick out. But yeah, the goalie did well to be alert. We had to be alert. Otherwise, James would have had a first touch and then had a shot on goal.
Yeah, I'm thrilled at how good he's been. I mean, at the end of last season, he showed the standard he could play at. So yeah, and again, going back to this England question, when he came on, when England paid a five in a friendly, I remember, and Trent was in there. When Reece James came up, completely changed what they were doing down that side. He's much more suited to it, I think. His athleticism and his sort of, and being partly by trade and experience, a midfielder. So he's got that in the locker. There's certain things he can do, I think, playing inside, certain ways of working the ball that suit our system massively, and potentially England if they play five.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Otievo was booked. Was he booked? No, it was just a foul on Mount's clear foul, but doesn't look like it was a booking.
That's the first bit of argy-bargy there's really been in the game.
Yeah, it's been free flowing, good passing from both sides, really.
Yeah, and I think that has actually surprised me how kind of progressively they played. I think because you're overwhelmed by the memory of them rearguarding against Juve a little bit in the last round. But maybe I might think I've underestimated them a little bit here.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't have sort of disagreed with your sort of sentiment or any Chelsea fan, because especially they're not running away with the Premier League, and they've got a couple of suspensions and injuries tonight, but still they've shown in the opening, sort of coming up to 19 minutes, they've still got some good players on the pitch.
Yeah, plenty of us to be wary of.
Yeah. Oh, what header that is by Aspilicueta, I think it was. Just approaching the halfway line. Yeah, decent play. Not a huge amount of chance other than that volley from Grujic, but there's been some decent play from between both boxes. But just that final pass hasn't quite been there yet. But some positive signs from both sides, as we've both mentioned.
Yeah, that kind of our build-up play, what we're used to a lot of the time, is exerting a lot of pressure, getting the ball in at least out of our half with relative ease. I think they're trying to stop that a little bit and stop us at source. And it's probably been a while since we played against someone who did that. So that might be making it more difficult for us. Again, I'd just say, to me, if they're going to play that quite aggressive system, Jorginho to Werner seems like, in much the same way as that was exploited against Atletico. It seems to me that a moment's mistake, a moment of the centre-back being drawn out by Havertz and Mount, and that leaves that space, and
So it's a good turn by... can't see who that was, but Porto still in possession in Chelsea's third. Well, they win the foul there. It was James with the foul. Yeah, James gives away the foul on number 7, Luis Diaz. Oh, no, it was Jorginho, actually.
Oh, yeah.
It was Jorginho with the foul. Oh, yes, clear foul, yeah.
Very Jorginho tackle, that.
Yeah, no real need, really. So it's danger for Chelsea here. Porto going to learn their lesson and actually stick it in the box this time. It looks like they're going to do that. So it's a free kick wide on the left-hand side. Going to be whipped in right-footed. In the swinger, trying to put in that danger area between the defence and Mendy. Ball comes in now. Good cross. Oh, is that a corner? Yeah, corner. Yeah, that was much better delivery. Best delivery we've seen probably all game, I'd say. Comes in, back post. Yeah, comes off Rudiger, is it, at the back post? Yeah, I think Grukic was up there. Corner for Porto. Just gone 21 minutes.
Yeah, very even game so far. Well, if anything, they probably edged it on chances. Yeah, I'm not sure that front three is working. And as I say, I want Havertz to be brilliant, but, were there better options? I wonder.
Yeah, well, Chelsea clear that corner, but it's Porto still on the attack. Quickly taken. James does well. There is another corner. Yeah, it looks like it is. Yeah, Corona, the midfielder for Porto, forces a corner. So it's good delivery previously. Let's see if they can do the same from this corner.
Yeah, well, we've got options on the bench. If it does, I think we look a bit incoherent up front. We're not keeping the ball as well as we normally do. Quite surprising, actually. I think this is not very characteristic of what we've been like recently, even taking into account.
Oh, what skill! Oh, well defended by that's for the quote. I think it was really intricate corner routine. Otavio linked up with one of his teammates, flicked it over, and it's well blocked by. I think it was Pepe with the shot that was well blocked. So it's another corner.
Yeah, Corona showed well for the short corner.
Otavio swings it in. Oh, Mendy tips. Oh, Mendy looks shaky there. Or foul's been given, I think. Yeah, swung in. Oh, that corner near went in. Yeah, Mendy did well actually. I thought he was beating in the air, but no, that was going in. You had to be aware of that, and then there was a foul afterwards. So Chelsea having to hold firm in these last couple of minutes, but they've done the job.
Yeah, I think they've put real pressure on us. I'm just glad it wasn't Kepa, to be honest.
Yeah,
who's like having a wheelie bin full of custard in goal. He's just utterly dire. But there you go. Donnarumma's out of contract in the summer, so we'll see what happens. Fingers crossed.
Yeah, a couple of good balls by number 25 Otavio for Porto. A couple of real dangerous balls in. As I say, that one was going in, but Mendy had to be alert. He did well there. But up the other end, James about to take a corner for Chelsea. Let's see if he can match Otavio. Ball comes in. Oh, it's well defended. Oh, Porto on the attack. Oh, it's well defended by Kovacic, I think it was. I think they had a couple others back, but he had to win that one on the halfway line, and he did so very well. But, the counter was definitely on. I think it was Luis Diaz, I think it was, with the ball. But from what I can see, Kovacic, I think it was, who won the ball. So this game just starting to spice up a little bit.
Yeah, getting a bit more open. I think it's a very cliche thing to say. I think we're not moving the ball quick enough. And they've shown they can maintain a really strong and disciplined defensive shape. So
yeah, I think with Chelsea, with you've got Chilwell and James, obviously got the aim is to get it wide, but you've got to you've got to stretch the play and do it as quick as possible. Just seeing that replay, yeah, Mendy does brilliantly there. Actually, that's proper whipping in. He had to take a couple steps to his right. And I think Pepe goes for the header, and I think Pepe gives away a foul, maybe just after that. But yeah, that was proper going in. That was whether he meant it or not, I doubt it. But yeah, still, had to be alert. So both goalies are doing well so far.
Yeah, just seeing that replay again. If Kepa had been in goal, that would definitely have gone in. He probably would have hit it into his own goal because he's like a Guy Fawkes bonfire guy. He's absolutely, honestly, the worst goalkeeper. I mean, I'm better in goal, just simply because I'd probably just wave my arms around and accidentally deflect a few away. He's diabolical. That's the worst signing in Premier League history. Kepa.
Well, that's a big statement, but who authorised that? Eh?
Well, Courtois was crying. Conte wanted rid of him, I think, and then we panicked and we got an absolutely diabolical goalkeeper for £70 million. That's simple as that.
Well, I mean, if we're talking about pound for pound, he's got to be in with a share. I mean, obviously, there's been worse players and worse goalkeeper, but if we're talking about transfer fees and value for money or lack of value for money, as Chelsea have found out, then he's got to be in the conversation.
Yeah, we've probably three of the top 10 are in up with us with Fernando Torres and Shevchenko. Extremely poor signings.
Hopefully, there's been some, obviously Chelsea legends, especially in the striking department. You think of Gianfranco Zola and Didier Drogba, and you could even say Jimmy Ford Hasselbank to a certain extent. But I mean,
he was incredible.
There's some gravy. It's a graveyard for some strikers like Kezman, Shevchenko, Torres, Morata to a certain extent. It's still his first season, but you'd hope that obviously Werner doesn't fall into that as well.
No, I don't know if that comes from the fans. I really don't. Morata was much better than he was made out to be. I think his confidence went in the end.
Yeah,
Werner is. I said this last time. Werner is much better than people have made out. Much better, and he's been much better. I don't think people watch it.
Oh, they're in here. Oh, Chilwell does brilliantly there. Oh, he does very well because they were in on the right hand side. I think it was might have been Uribe. I think it was sorry, it might have been Otavio. I think he switched to the right hand side on that move.
Yeah, just seen that. So, they're really putting pressure on, and credit to the way they're playing. I think completely. As I said, I haven't seen a lot of Porto, but really completely underestimated them and probably done him a disservice in the style of play as well.
It's another corner for Chelsea. Yeah, Otavio. Yeah, and it was nearly but Chilwell was brilliant on the cover, and it's Otavio to take this corner. They take it short. Oh, again, it's another poor. When they've put the ball in the box, it's worked for them. But every time they've taken it short, it's not just simply ain't worked. I think Chelsea got off lightly with that one.
Yeah, very, very surprised actually. Yeah, they're causing us real problems, and this will be a real test for Tuchel because I would honestly say I think this is the best half the side has played against us that I've seen so far. I think this is going to be the real test. He's there. I can see him on my screen just gesticulating and
he's just something he's not. There's not quite. I think he's probably right with what you're saying, whereas they're not moving the ball enough. James does well there. Yeah, but still thought. Yeah, but it's still early days. Obviously, they're technically the away side. So even if they do go a goal behind, they get an away goal. It obviously counts double, doesn't it? So no reason to panic yet for Chelsea.
No, absolutely not. And I think Mount doesn't stay quiet for long, and he's been very quiet. And I think they've worked out he's the major creator in the side, so they've really blocked him out of the game and taken away his areas a bit. They've been really good.
This is better from Chelsea. I think Christensen found his James, bit of space. Werner, now it's back to Jorginho. Just slow down a little bit there, but they exploited the width there for the first time. Really, that's a raking ball. That is his Mount. tries to find James. Is that a corner? No, James keeps it in. Back to Azpilicueta. Is Jorginho. Azpilicueta again is Kovacic. Yeah, it's a lot better this passage of play from Chelsea.
Yeah.
Can they create a chance from it? Azpilicueta, a bit of space to run into. Finds James. Got room to cross. That's a poor one, but forces is it a corner? Yeah, Pepe does well at the near post to a clear classic John Terry position. But yeah, Chelsea still with the ball. Can they create something from this move? So is Kovacic, Rudiger. Chilwell's on this left. He finds him. Kovacic again. Bit more space for Chelsea in this move.
Yeah, they've gone deeper. Much deeper.
Is that Havertz? I think it is. Chilwell.
And they are doing a 6, basically. They're doing an athletic.
Yeah, no, a good spot, mate. Yeah. There's Azpilicueta again. Space to run into. Tries to find James. Finds him. Whipped in first time. Jorginho. Oh, just at a back post. Is that offside? No, play on. Everyone stopped there for a minute. Is Kovacic. Back to Kovacic again. Yeah, it'll be a lot deeper in this move, Porto. Allowing Chelsea to have time and space. Oh, what a turn that is by Havertz! Oh, goal! What a fin! Oh, it's Mount. Sorry, what a finish that was. He said Wizzy went quiet for long, and he's got the opening goal. That is some finish.
I can assure you, if either was from Toxtiff, people will be losing their minds over him. Absolutely losing their minds over him. You know, he's an incredible player. Yeah, absolutely brilliant.
You'll see it in a minute, mate. Just checking for offside. Oh, he's well. Yeah, he's well on. Yeah, brilliant turn. I think it's Jorginho with the pass, and I think who is it? It's the left back Zaidu. I think he rushes in. Yeah, Jorginho, a good ball in. Yeah, Zaidu lunges in. Wonderful turn. Wonderful turn by Mount. He takes it. Yeah, that's some finish. That's right in the.
That really is a good finish.
I'm not sure about the. Would he try and save it? Goalie tries to save it with his legs, but I think if he went with his hands, he's going to do well to stop that one. So, yeah, well, there we are. With last sort of 12 minutes or so, Porto had the better things, but yeah, best move that Chelsea had. And we said would they create a chance, and they certainly have done. So, yeah, I think it was good by Chelsea, but I think, as you rightly said, mate, Porto very deep there for a good amount of time.
Yeah, and I think that's what, I mean, at the beginning we talked about, and we sort of anticipated that being their modus operandi for the whole game, maybe being a bit more conservative. The minute they did it, and then our confidence got up, we strung. I mean, we probably had the ball there. I mean, you were commentating on I could hear you talking about what's happening in the future. It was interesting to watch it. But we probably had the ball there for a good 2 minutes.
You
exactly. You don't have the ball for that amount of time without it breaking down or something. So continuous pressure, them being a bit too deep, I think. And again, when you get deep, if the ball is on that last line of defence, people feel they've got to make decisions, go and be decisive. He's gone and made a bad decision. And in fairness,
what ball in? What a ball that is! Oh, it's well cleared. Mount with a raking ball. He got the ball on the right hand side. The space is opening up for Chelsea. Since that goal, they've got if they can press on, get a second in, that could be, I wouldn't say tie over, but my God, what a position they'd be in.
Oh, that's fantastic. And the thing you notice, there's two really great things there. One, the ball from the centre back beats a lot of players. I can't remember what they call it. There's a word like the Germans are big on it, about beating players with your passes. And then Reece James is playing inside. Reece James is playing inside there, and Mount goes out wide. And so that's the big advantage you have of Reece James. Again, over Trent Alexander-Arnold could do almost everything. The world's his oyster. But Reece James is very good at that, having played defensive midfield, Derby and things like that. I think it was Derby.
Yeah, I think it was.
Was he over there? No.
But yeah, no, Chelsea done well there. I mean, as we've said, for that sort of about 10 minutes, Porto had the better of things, looked like more likely to score, but then when you have quality players, good ball by Jorginho, and obviously that turn and finish by Mount. The games, especially at this high level, Champions League quarterfinals, can change in a click like that.
This is it. I mean, there's so much quality. Apologies, I think it was Wigan. Yeah, it was. So yeah, I mean, and this is why you watch the game at this level, because the more quality you've got to show, the more that something can come out of nothing. And yeah, really elite quality again from Mason Mount. How long it will take him to prove it? Something I think maybe the pennies drop now. But again, we're just passing it around the back on my screen at the moment. I'm 30, just coming up to 35 and a half minutes, and they're much higher again now, Porto.
That's just come. I don't know if that's for you, mate, but that was Chelsea's first shot.
Yeah, not amazed by that. I think they can probably go in and consider themselves a bit unlucky to be behind, really, on the balance of play.
Yeah, I think Chelsea had dominated the ball. They've had 70% of the ball, it looks like, and just that one shot. But most important stat is the scoreline. But yeah, Porto's downfall is they've had 4 shots, but none on target. I mean that save by Mendy, technically not a shot by UEFA, so I would count it as a shot, even though it probably wasn't them. But probably slightly agree with the going behind, but I wouldn't say Mendy's had to make a sort of a point blank save. He did well from that corner, which wasn't meant, but they just have when they've got the ball in the box, Porto, they haven't managed to manufacture any shots on target. Obviously, that's what
Yeah, we've looked a bit nervy, and they're pretty. I've just watched their pressure on Kovacic and pressure on Azpilicueta, and they're making us go longer. And it's actually hard to make us do that. We're pretty good at it. If we're winning a play out of the back against, Liverpool, Manchester City, it shows they're really doing something right. They've really done their homework.
Yeah, well, there's that's a good ball. That is Zaidu. Oh, yeah, doesn't lead to anything. But while there's a bit of a pause in the action, I've just seen the scoreline from the other quarterfinal tonight, and it's surprisingly, Bayern Munich 0, PSG 2.
I'm not mega surprised. When I've watched Bayern this year, they're not the Bayern of last year. I've not watched them all season. I don't watch every game in the Bundesliga, but when I've seen them, they're not the same side. And they, even I mean, they'll probably win the Bundesliga, but they still aren't as dominant as you'd normally expect, I think. And I think Mbappe is just getting better and better. I don't know whether Neymar's out for them, actually. But yeah, they're still dangerous.
Yeah, no, that's a proper tie. That is. But still early. Bayern's quality, you never know. They can easily turn it around.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Oh, I've just seen actually come up on screen. Choupo-Moting, of all players, has just got one back. So.
No, his agent's got to be one of the best in the world.
Well, he scored some big goals, and that's what's happening. Maybe we'll see a few more moves like that. I think you do over the years. You see a few. I think the one I always think of is how surprised people were at what Diego Forlan did when he left Manchester United, European Golden Boot, etc. So maybe we'll see a few more of those where there's undervalued players.
Definitely, Thomas Gravesen to Real Madrid springs to mind as well.
Yeah.
So this for the first time really in this half, the game's quieted down a little bit, I have to say. Which, from a Chelsea point of view, they'll certainly take 5 minutes to half time. They'll
exactly
snap your hand off.
Exactly. Yeah, I think a very dull 5 minutes would suit Tuchel perfectly. He can go in, probably have a word about a few things about maybe how to break that press.
Ball in the box. Oh, still alive. Oh, it's a raking ball by Zaidu, but none of his forwards managed to get onto it. But one of those, not a cross shot, but when you just fire it as hard as you can across the box. But that could have got anywhere there. Still got the ball though, Porto. Is Luis Diaz. That's a good ball inside. Oh, that's what defended in the end by Chelsea. Cleared up the pitch. But it is Pepe for Porto. Yeah, just got 40 minutes. So, overall, Chelsea will be fairly pleased if it stays this way. Yeah, James does well there again.
I mean, again, it's repeating a bit of what we talked about in the last game against Atletico. And I don't know whether this is crying out. I mean, I remember Pulisic coming on, and so you had them operating a bit deeper, and Werner being the kind of the 9, if you like.
Yeah.
And just that ability to take the ball in the half space on the turn and hit it. And I don't think that's Havertz's game, but I don't know. I'd be interested to see a Pulisic or Zier come into the game.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. The Chelsea have got plenty of options. Alonso, Kante, Tammy Abraham, Pulisic, Giroud, Hudson-Odoi, Ziyech. So they've got plenty of options on the bench for the second half if needed.
Yeah.
It is a free kick for Chelsea. It's going to be Otavio to whip the ball in. Every time they've played it short, it's been horrendous, but surely he's going to stick it in the box this time. Been a danger from set pieces when they've managed to put the ball in. In it comes. Oh, it's cleared. Oh, shot. Oh, it's well blocked by Azpilicueta, I think it was. An effort by, I think it's Corona that was going on target, it looked like. Hits it on the volley. Yeah, that's on target. Oh, I think Mendy would have got there. Yeah, Mendy would have got there, but yeah, well blocked by Azpilicueta, the captain.
Yeah, that's good. That's very Dave. Right place, right time. He's been an incredible player for us, absolute legend for us.
Absolutely. Corner comes in. Pepe heads it on. Oh, it's saved by Mendy. Comfortable in the end, but Pepe did brilliantly there. He had to step to his right, gets it on target. Yeah, Mendy does well, actually. Could easily have just palmed it in front of him, but palmed it away enough, and it catches the rebound on the second corner. So yeah. Every time Porto have put the ball in the box from set piece, they look at danger.
Yeah, I think I think that was something characteristic of the Lampard reign that we never quite got to grips with set pieces.
Oh no, definitely not.
But yeah, we've looked pretty. They found ways to really scare us tonight, and yeah, I think when they get it, in the mixer, they've given us some real problems.
No, they have, yeah. But they certainly got threats with set pieces. Pepe with that header, he's one of them. And Bempo as well. So I think from a Porto point of view, I think they need to get Luis Diaz on the ball and Marega as well. The front two have barely had a kick, to be honest.
Yeah, I think Octavio obviously on set pieces, but I don't know if he's won a couple of free kicks. The left fullback looks pretty useful to me, and I don't know him at all. Sanusi.
Well, as I do, I think he's looking a threat going forward, but I think it was a fault for the goal. So I think it's no wonder a lot of the players come down Chelsea's right with James and obviously Mount with the goal. So I think they're exposed his defensive shortfalls, I'd say, in this first half so far. But he looks a real threat going forward from what I've seen.
Yeah.
It's just ticked over 44 minutes. Ball comes in. Oh, what a header that is by Azpilicueta again. Still got it. Is Zaidu the man that we've just been talking about? Oh, James does really well there. Really well. Great one-on-one defending.
Something he's improved a lot. He's come on defensively a long way quickly. I know I'm a Chelsea fan and I would love him, but really, he was finding himself in a lot of problems. I think maybe a year and a half ago, and he's come on a long way.
Oh, he goes through. Oh, deflection. It was Uribe who had that volley early on, jinked past a couple of players. We'll see on the replay. It's well blocked by Rudiger, I think it was in the end. So very slick, just like his hairstyle. Very good. They're
really going for it. They're really going.
A header by Oh, who was that by? Manafa, I think it was, the right back. Oh, and that's half time. No stoppage time. That's a rarity. So half time it is. So yeah, half time. Porto 0, Chelsea 1. Thoughts on that first half was?
I think the feeling I get is when I've watched Chelsea in the past, I'm thinking of like, some of the golden days of the early 2010s and things like this against big games where you get a 1-0 there and you feel that was tough.
Yeah.
And I didn't think I'd be feeling that tonight. And I think that's exactly how I feel. It feels like a Champions League quarter final, actually. They've really put us under pressure. I think a moment of real big quality and a mistake really from Porto, sort of being so deep, and an individual error has got us a lead, and that works obviously massively in our favour. Just seeing the way they're defending, how heavy how high they're pushing up, though, I think we could get some joy, but their pressing has been incredible. Really, I think that's the most trouble we've had under Tuchel with an opposition.
Yeah, no, I think Porto have looked, as you say, mate, pretty impressive, I've got to say. But they just haven't had that cutting edge in front of goal, and Chelsea, they've only had one shot, but one shot on target in the end, and obviously that's led to the goal. So that extra bit of quality which Porto might have if they had a couple of their suspended players or injured players in the starting lineup tonight. Obviously, second half still to come, of course, but that extra bit of quality in Mount, Mason Mount, fantastic finish, great turn. But I think Iran made defensive error by Zaidu, who I think we've both been impressed by going forward, but just lunged in for no reason. If he stays on his feet, he either cuts it out or he's in a position to block Mount's shot. In the end, it makes it too easy for him. But some finish by Mason Mount. It was just after that they kept the ball well, Chelsea, for a couple of minutes for the first time in the whole half, and in the end, it led up to a goal. But Porto, I wouldn't say they're out of it at all. When they've had set pieces, when they've actually stuck it in the box, Otavio, his delivery has been excellent. The front two, Marega and Diaz, they hardly had a touch. I think Rudiger, Christensen, and Azpilicueta with a couple of blocks have really marshalled them well. So been a good half from both sides, I'd say. But obviously Chelsea with the key goal.
Yeah, and I think a moment of extreme quality really from Mount, showing his actual kind of legitimate praise and legitimate use by Lampard and Tuchel now.
Yeah.
But I think the story of the half in many ways is just how good Porto have been. I think maybe this is just a total bit of, especially an English person, a bit of ignorance to just how good. We see some of the people who come out of that league. We were talking about João Felix earlier, but obviously Bruno's the obvious one now. They've lost probably their, lights out best player in Alex Telles, and he can't get in the side of Manchester United. There's a long history of extremely high quality players coming out of Portugal and going, especially to La Liga and Atletico, that relationship. And they're showing serious credentials tonight. I think we need to be very wary. I think the good news is we've got in 1-0 up, and Tuchel's got his time to work with them now. And then we'll see. They've obviously done their homework and done a sensational job on the press. I think it's amazing. I'm really massively impressed by them. Now we'll see how good Tuchel is at breaking the press, basically. And I wonder if that. I think there's a couple of moments where they've left free sort of at the back in a sort of almost like a sweeper and two looking kind of situation. If they can get in that half space and get turning and get Werner away, that might be the play. So we'll see.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm just going to head off quickly, but I'll answer this before I come back. What would you change much at halftime? Not necessarily with subs, but in terms of the approach. I'll be back in a minute.
I wouldn't change much. No. Is that good enough?
But would you expect more, just a bit more passing with and take a few more attempts on goal?
I mean, I don't know. I think I think they're being so courageous in the way they're playing. It's easy to say we just go harder, we push higher, and we do everything. I don't know. It's difficult. That's why I'm not paid 10 million a year or whatever to do for this. But my sense is that, you know, there was that little passage of play after we scored where Reece James played inside and Mount went out. And it's, if they're playing a really organised system in defence when they get their shape, can we do other things like that? Can we surprise them in the way we move the ball and the way we position our players whilst retaining that width? And can we also, I mean, it was after about half an hour they went into that really deep position for a period. Was it because that fatigue of that press? Because it is sensational. And in that case, should we just kind of really almost not batten down the hatches, but play very conservatively? That when that fight, you know, rather than be really progressive with that five at the back, keep it shaped quite a lot, not be too, you know, too offensive, I suppose, and wait for those moments again. That's probably, you know, that's probably the risk aversion way. I think the other way is to push James up, push Chilwell up, and really go and say, "Have you got the stomach to press us?" Because we will go wide and we'll go there quicker. Jorginho and Kovacic are more than capable of getting the ball wide quicker, and we'll punish them from wide. If you want to try and have domination and press with your fullbacks, well, how about this? And then we'd kind of go blow for blow with them. It probably doesn't suit us because we're the technically superior side. So waiting for example, mistakes and our elite play would be maybe the safer way to go. But I don't know. We'll see. I still think, you know, maybe I don't like Havertz, but I still wonder if they're going to leave that kind of space, and if we can release someone on the counter, I would rather it be Pulisic or Ziyech than Havertz. And I think Ziyech could have a field day. I think this is set up perfectly for Ziyech. But I can't imagine a 1-0 down he'll make such a racy substitution, especially given Havertz's confidence and costing him so much money, etc. But yeah,
no, fair points, mate. They're just showing the replay of Mount's goal, and I think for probably the only time in the first half, Porto were, as we mentioned, they were deep and they were back in numbers. But I think, well, with that goal was Chelsea played it forward a number of times as well, of moving from side to side, and then that killer pass forward from Jorginho. Obviously, we've spoke about the defensive error from Zaidu, but I mean, still fabulous turn by Mount and the finish we've spoken about. But they were patient with the play and then pass forward, kill a ball forward with at the right time.
Yeah, and it speaks that I think something again we spoke about anticipating maybe a bit of a deeper line and then seeing that higher line from Porto is there's basically two ways to beat a press. There's Kovacic's way, which is to run past people basically, and there's Jorginho's way. And we actually get a lot of moving the ball up the pitch through Jorginho. He's got lots of problems, and when we push right up and try and be really, really dominant with the ball, pushing sides back, he's a liability on the counter. You see him when he has to run back on the counter. He looks like me running back. He's like his head's down. His head's down. It's like if I have to run 50 meters, this is why I look. My head's down and I'm going like that. That's what he looks. He does that. It's you can see him do it. So he's a liability in that sense. But what he can pass the ball. I mean, and that obviously he's from that Napoli side playing Sarri ball, extremely dominant possession-based side. And that's exactly what he's in the side to do that because he's actually not the best defender, for someone who plays kind of six. He's not the best defender in the world.
Yeah, absolutely. But I think, Jorginho and Kovacic have done well in that first half, I have to say.
They've done okay. I think it's been difficult for them because I think Porto have done so well. And as I say, I mean, if we were sitting there and I think if Chelsea were 1-0 down, we maybe wouldn't be out complaining, Chelsea fans. The fact we've gone in 1-0 up, I think actually, we've done okay. And we've had a bit of luck there, a bit of quality at the end of the day.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's the thing. That's what separates the decent sides from the good sides is that little bit of quality at the end. So we've mentioned the front two for Porto. Obviously, still got second half to come, but Diaz and Marega hardly been in it, and then I think they're badly missing. Sergio Oliveira. His goals from midfield so far, anyway. Because I think actually saying that, I think Uribe. I think he's been a standout for Porto so far, number 8 in Porto's midfield.
Yeah, he seems to have got on the ball and done a bit. I mean, I'm really impressed with him generally, but yeah, he's I think he's had a couple of good shots. He's looked like he's going to create something potentially if any of them are. I think a lot of what they do well is coming through him or from Otavio on the set pieces. So yeah, I think that, and they just had the stat come up on BT Sport about shots. I think they've done really well and created a lot of pressure. How many really good chances they've created, I'm not sure.
Well, that's the thing, yeah.
So if it was the old infamous XG, which is pretty useful, I don't know whether there's any half-time XGs about, but I wouldn't expect it. I would expect them to possibly be ahead, but I wouldn't expect it to be, one of these games you see is extremely open and there's been a lot of chances. It's going to be incredibly interesting the first 5 minutes of the second half, I think, to see. I'm just fascinated to see what Tuchel does. I don't think we'll see a change in personnel. That would be only Mourinho does wild things like that. But we'll see. I don't think he'll be at all happy. And I think he'll come out after whatever happens. I think he'll say that's not the way we should have started. We couldn't cope with their press, etc.
Yeah, absolutely. I've just seen a stat from BT on Twitter. So Bayern and Porto had 23 combined shots, scoring 1 goal. Chelsea and PSG have had 3 combined shots, scoring 3 goals.
It sounds like Bayern have been pretty dominant then. Well,
by the sounds of it,
yeah. Well, that's the game. I'd be really interested to watch that game. Hopefully, I think I'm recording it, so I'll get a chance to watch that maybe. And yeah, there you go. It is about taking chances. I would expect this to be much more dominant, though. I think you probably expect Bayern to be possession dominant, definitely. It's much more in their DNA as a side. They've got personnel for that. Whereas when you've got Kylian Mbappe, I think it is extremely tempting to be very solid and then just hit them.
Yeah, exactly.
Hit him between the full-back and the centre-back and let him absolutely destroy them with his pace. And, it'd be interesting to see if he goes anywhere in future, but hopefully he'll come to the Premier League.
No, that'd be a shout.
Maybe he'll come to West Ham, Wesley.
Oh God, yeah.
Imagine that. Imagine if he turned up at West Ham, there'd be a million fans there to greet him. Be amazing.
Yeah. Yes, but it's not Football Manager, mate, unfortunately. So,
no.
Yeah.
I don't know. They're looking good this year, West Ham. Looking really good.
Mate,
good manager, well organised.
Been majorly impressed, mate. Ridiculous how well we've done, especially as we just stayed up last season, and the progression over this season has been absolutely amazing. So it's just a shame we've not been able to go. The only game where the fans were allowed was the Man United one, which we lost 3-1, I think it was. But apart from that's been gutted not being able to go. But next season, hopefully there'll be a European tour to go on.
Yeah, they thoroughly deserve it. They really thoroughly deserve it. So I hope so. I hope it is in the Champions League because we miss out.
Yeah.
I think we've been incredibly unlucky this year, to be honest. But I think they've been sensational, West Ham. They're a lot better than Arsenal and Tottenham.
Yeah, no, I think if we
Streets ahead of Arsenal, really.
Yeah, if we get even if we get Europa League, I don't think any of us were expecting that at the start of the season, especially after we lost to Newcastle meekly on the opening day. So look how both teams have changed. Obviously, West Ham were going to struggle, and in Newcastle, you think you have a decent season. It's been the polar opposite for both sides.
Yeah, I think I don't know whether anyone saw it coming either. I don't know if anyone saw that coming particularly. I didn't anyway. So
No.
Yeah, it's going to be a good finish to the season. I mean, City obviously won the title, but
Yeah, still lots to play for, apart from that.
yeah.
Right, well, the players are out for the second half. That's the second half being able to get underway. But yeah, doesn't look like there's any changes for both sides. But, both teams have got options on the bench. So, yeah, I'm sure it won't be too long before we do see some subs. Especially from a Porto point of view. So, ref's just looking at his whistle. Looks like we're going to get underway. Porto about to we'll start this second half. And here we go. Second half's underway.
I'm just looking where Choupo-Moting came from to go to Stoke. He was at Schalke. They played for Schalke, PSG, Bayern, and Stoke.
Yeah, that's reminds me of what was it? Paul Merson. He said about when it was on Soccer Saturday a few years ago when Julio Faubert, when he was at West Ham, he went on loan to Real Madrid, and he said that his agent should be knighted by the Queen. I think Choupo-Moting's agent should be of similar accolades, I'd say.
Well, he's got some good Champions League goals.
Yeah, absolutely. So Chelsea with the ball, just back in midfield. Yeah, looks like they've Porto not pressing as high. So still, it's not even a minute into the second half, but defended a little. I was saying that they've pushed high a little bit now, putting pressure on the Chelsea defence, but they've handled that pretty well. Here's Jorginho. That's a good ball to James out wide. I reckon we'll see a bit of space open up Wiz in this second half for probably both sides, I reckon. Said it's Chelsea. Here's Kovacic. Havertz, I think it is on Mount. Ball's in. Oh! Header over by Werner. First time we've really seen him in this game, Wiz. Mount had it on the right-hand side. James on the overlap. He doesn't use him. Oh, it's a free header by Werner. Oh, top of the head.
I'm just watching. Who's the crossing from Mount? Is that?
Yeah, Mount. Yeah.
And I think the question we talked about half time is would Tuchel find a way to break the press? And he has. I don't know how, but the amount that's the most amount of space for a centre midfielder we've had. So something's. I don't know. It looked like there were options. As Kovacic run through, it looked like there were options for him. So whether someone's dropping off into that space, and
I think Porto's shape was woeful. I think in that one, so their defence was too deep, and they had attacking players were pressing from the front. They weren't in a concrete block, as it were. So their midfield was really exposed. So I think that's Kovacic, he had the spaces to run into. He did so, and then also lays it off to Mount.
Yeah, it just seemed that area was completely no go in the first half. Even for the goal, when we had lots of possession, we passed it around and we had the space out wide on both sides. But yeah.
So a good start to second half for Chelsea. Yeah, if they could get a second goal, it could whether it'll seal the win overall or not. But 2 away goals would be crucial.
Yeah, would be. I mean, really, really massive. In a 2-leg tie where, of course, there isn't really a home for either side.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But yeah, really, I think we spoke about that. First 5 minutes is critical here. I think people always say that moment after half time is critical, but I think just to see exactly, what Tuchel's changed and whether that's a complete lack of discipline or a loss of concentration or a loss of tactical nous from Porto to leave that space open for Kovacic to run through, I'm not sure, but we'll see how that plays out.
Yeah, but you got to exploit the space. Yeah, when you seize it, when you get the opportunity, you got to seize it, and I think got to create something, and that was on the reflection, a big chance for Werner. It was unmarked, and but a lovely pick out from Mount. He was absolutely loving this game so far. Obviously got the only goal so far, and great cross, and if Werner's on form, I think he heads it on target, but just missed times, and it's the top of his head, goes over.
Yeah, and I'm just coming at 49 minutes, and that's the first time I think we've seen a ball over the top, like a real ball over the top. It failed, but it was Jorginho from deep again. So
Yeah.
I think we're gonna, it'll be hurt them two ways really. If they're gonna persist with that very sort of courageous higher block, then can we beat it basically through Jorginho and Kovacic in some way, and get it into the kind of tens we've got playing, or is Jorginho going to be, going to have the will to be a bit more direct?
That's the first time Porto have had the ball in Chelsea's third. Corona had it, number 17. Tries to take on Chilwell. Oh, he just falls down. That is not a foul in a million years. And the ref rightly doesn't give it.
Yeah, that's a poor one. That trying it on
reminds me of I can't remember what game it was. One that I think if it was an early FIFA game, I think it was where there was a dive button. If it was one of those, like press L1 or something, and you fall over. It was one of those.
Yeah, that was the game that's developed in South America. That's not disrespectful to South America. They were probably quite proud of that, I think. But
oh, ball in behind. Oh, save by Mendy. Big save. It was the first time that Marega's really been in the game. He got past Rudiger. Yeah, and then Mendy come out of his goal, but he stood firm there.
Really great ball from the right back there. Terrific ball. That's a sensational pass. Yeah.
Manafa, I think it was the right back who played it in. And Otavio crosses it in. Oh, nothing from the corner, but Zaidu has got it left back. So first real bit of pressure from Porto in this second half. Here's Zaidu again. Crosses it in. That's well cleared by Christensen, I think it was. Oh, Werner gives it away. You don't want to give it away there, but gets away with it though. Porto still got it though. Here's Pepe, formerly of Real Madrid. Crossfield ball. Oh, that's poor. Chilwell heads it away. Not very well though. Here's Corona. Plays it for Manafa. No, it's still Manafa. No, he's done well there, Kovacic, I think. He's having a good game as well, Kovacic, as well as Mount, I have to say.
Yeah, I think they've done okay. And actually,
reverse ball by Corona. Oh, where Diaz goes down. Oh, goal kick given. Thought for a minute they're going to give a penalty, but the ref shakes his head. Lovely reverse ball by Corona. And Diaz, falls down, but it's Azpilicueta just stands firm, gets the ball first.
Really good.
That's
I'm just watching that by Azpi. Really good. Yeah, across well.
Fantastic defending. Yeah, Diaz, he knows he's not getting there, and he just tumbles over. But this last couple of minutes, Wiz, they kept the ball well. Porto created a couple of half opportunities.
Really well, and stopping us countering. Really, really good. Well, again, there was a moment Werner got the ball and could have cleared, and we could have got back up the pitch a little bit. I think we need to be a bit more decisive in those moments. And what I'm seeing on my screen now is them playing a very high line again and then pushing right up. So again, Jorginho with time, he's now looking. Yeah, you can. I think that's that's going to be my prediction. It worked out with a Trippier mistake in the last game. I'm hoping it's going to be. Maybe it'll be Havertz in behind as well. He's looking pretty sharp and pretty willing. So see if we can get one in behind.
Yeah, Mounts falls to the corner there. Pepe just tumbled over. I think he was getting the free kick, but very stuff there. Good game tonight.
Good. Yeah.
Corner for Chelsea.
What time are you on Westy at the moment?
Just gone 53 minutes and 30 seconds.
Oh, okay, I'm only a little bit behind.
The ref stopped play there. Who's easy to talk to? Azpilicueta and Zaidu were holding each other there.
Oh, a bit of funny business. Yeah. Well, I'm amazed. Do you know what's funny is you said that the first thing that happened as soon as the ref stopped it, the camera went to Pepe. Just absolute instinct. Pepe's on the replay. Pepe's near nobody. He's not even marking anybody. and like he's doing a zonal thing or something, and yet the camera always goes to him.
Reminds me of when Sky went all digital and sort of late 90s, early 2000s, they had something called Player Cam. Do you remember that was?
Yeah.
For well, I think it was only about 2-3 seasons in the end. Obviously, don't have it now, but that was innovative back in the day.
You'd think now with digital technology and the kind of the cheapness of running things, especially automatic, you'd have automatic player tracking on cameras. Surprised it's not something they do. I imagine if you're a young player, that would be a really fascinating thing to do. There's actually a film. There's a film. This is how sad I am, and you might have seen it yourself. There's a film which is basically a 2-hour documentary following Zidane for a whole match.
Oh yeah, no, I've not seen it. I've not seen it, but I need to watch it. Is it Villarreal and he gets sent off, doesn't he?
Does he get sent off in it?
Oh, off the lot. Oh no, ref's given a foul. Oh, what happened there? Is it offside? Is it a foul? It was a good ball in from the corner.
Really good. I think. Well, presumably that's for some kind of obstruction on Mendy. Oh no, Chelsea defenders gone down. Oh, well, it's the Lino's flag. He's seen something.
Oh, I'm not sure what that was. Oh, was it Rudiger who went down? Oh. Starting to see, obviously, with no volume, what's actually being said. But yeah, the ref's given a foul anyway, and Chelsea get away with that one. But yeah, just on that film, I've not seen it, but I will do. I think it
was on BBC Two one night. So yeah, and it's quite old now because it was some years ago. But
effort just wide by Diaz. He's going into this in the second half. That just went past the post. Good touch. Oh, he's had the right idea. Whips it past Aspilicueta, and that's not far past the post. Mendy was struggling there. Yeah, good first touch with his left foot, and then tries to whip it into the bottom corner, and that's a decent effort. So Porto stepping it up for this last 5 minutes or so.
Well, I'm going to see if I can, make a point of trying to see some more of Porto, because if this is the kind of football they play, they're well worth a watch. I think really impressive again. That interchange, I think someone breaking from centre half there, or he was certainly hanging around that position. I didn't see who it was.
Yeah, especially as this ain't even their full strength team was.
No, I mean, yeah, they're maybe their main two guys, certainly their main two goal scorers, not available for this game. But they've looked really, really good. I think they've been really impressive.
Yeah, they have been. Yeah, fair credit to them. But at the moment, Chelsea's still with that 1-goal lead for Mason Mount in the first half. He's Kovacic. He's got more space to run into. He's done well again there. Good ball. Oh, it's well cut out by Mbemba. That was that time. Yeah, the right idea. Kovacic running forward, trying to play in Werner, but Mbemba does really well to track the run. Just seeing that shot again, whizzed by Diaz. That's the right idea. First touch, tries to whip it into the corner, and Mendy full strength dive there. I'm not sure if he would have got to that one.
Yeah, I think it was just off my side. Just seen Kovacic breaking forward, and now he's looking a lot more active. But yeah, did he get a finger on that then?
Mendy,
no, he doesn't quite that.
No, it went wide in the end. But if it was on target, I think. I think he would have struggled if it was on target.
Yeah, good. They're creating a lot of, it seems to be a consistent amount of threat. No really fantastic chances, but we can only get away with that for so long. I think actually.
Well, that's the thing. I think that's their 11th shot now.
Yeah, I'd like to see how many have been outside the box, but
yeah, that'd be interesting. Yeah. Thanks, Patterson, for your comment, mate. Werner will be the death of me.
He will come good. He will come good. Yeah, it's I think this has become a bit of a cliche, but it's absolutely true. Is when a striker isn't getting into good positions and not in the position to take chances, then you worry, because it shows you something more fundamental about their game and their flaws.
Yeah.
You know, Van Nistelrooy, who's a killer, an absolute shark, didn't score some games, you know, and had spare periods. So not many, but yeah, he'll come good. He's an elite player.
Shot by Rudiger.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a shot on target. Oh, Werner. Oh, what happened there? Oh, I think it's that will happen so quickly. Rudiger has the shot. I think Werner was in on the follow-up. I'm just seeing it again. Yeah, Rudiger shot. I think Werner's offside, I think.
Oh.
And then Havertz goes in. Oh, that's not great by the goalkeeper. Speculative shot by Rudiger. Takes a shot on. Fair play to him. Yeah, that's not great goalkeeping.
Well, again, as I said in the last game, Westy, Rudiger is only good from 35 yards out. That's his 60 yards.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, he did.
I mean, he had. I think he had a shot close up, awful. But became close from 35 yards. He is brilliant from 35 yards, Antonio. And I think that's nice to see him back. I mean, I know he's been in it for a while now, but under Tuchel, it's nice to see him come back because I think he is a talented player. I think he lost his way a little bit under Lampard.
Yeah, I don't think Lampard really fancied him. I think he tried to get rid of him on loan by the sound of things in the summer window.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that's personal or what it is. He had some really bad mistakes, really bad errors after the lockdown last year. I think that put him against him a little bit, but I can see Chilwell breaking down on my screen.
He did well. I'm not sure if that's a foul been given or.
It looks like a foul because I can see the Porto player remonstrating with the ref.
Yeah. If it was Manafra, I think it was with the foul. Yeah, Tuchel's just speaking to Pulisic. Oh no, it's a corner. It's not a foul. It's a corner.
Okay.
James crosses it in. Oh, that's well defended.
I've just shot on the bench. Pulisic. Yeah. This is. I mean, I hope it's for Havertz. I hope it's for Havertz because I think it's the right option. I can see Oli Giroud as well warming up. So, yeah.
Here we go. Yeah, they're both coming on. Yeah, Giroud and Pulisic are just getting their final instructions. They'll be on shortly.
So presumably that'll be for Werner and with it. I think Giroud obviously good on defensive set pieces might be some of the thinking there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And he can hold it up for a runner.
Oh, Chilwell's done well there. He's got he's done well to get a foul. It's Mbemba, centre back, who's fouled him. Looks like he's going to get a yellow, I think. Yeah, they had a couple of defenders around him. Nice touches. Oh, and it's Manafra, sorry. Manafra.
I've just seen the Chilwell foul. I think he's bought it quite heavily. I think he's bought it.
Oh, yeah. Looks it from the replay.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but my sense is he might have even not completely missed it. Might have just slightly clipped it as you go out of the way. So Mbemba's been done. There's Wilson Manafra on my screen, but it looks like Mbemba getting looked to me. Oh yeah, he's had a big swipe.
Yeah, I think the intent was there, whether the contact was there. That's another thing, I think.
Yeah, Manafra was watching that. It was Mbemba who they've got that wrong. That'd be another interesting one for the World Cup to see who gets the starting left back slot.
Yeah, well, both full-back positions are up for grabs. I mean, we spoke about the right back with James and Alexander-Arnold, Trippier, Walker. And yeah, left back, you've got Chilwell and Luke Shaw has been a fantastic season with Man United. So, good options as two Englishmen. I can't really complain with the options we've got, especially in midfield as well. So I think we're certainly a lot more stronger in terms of squad than we were at the World Cup. Yeah,
definitely. And I think what was missing at the World Cup was that ability to retain possession. I think we've got all sorts of players who can do that now. Mount's used to playing a very progressive side. Phil Foden. I feel Declan Rice is an underrated footballer. Massively underrated. And if it is true that Lampard wanted him rather than Havertz, then Lampard was right without question. I think he's a class act. His defensive output's amazing. And actually, what was interesting for him, I don't want to bang on about England all the time, but when he played with Phillips, the game he played with Phillips, and he became the kind of number 8 going forward, making things happen, linking play. I think for his age, I think he's sensational. I think they've got unbelievable play West Ham.
Yeah, just coming back to Rice in a minute, mate. We're right. So it's Giroud and Pulisic on for Werner and Havertz. So no surprises there. Not their greatest performances tonight, but Chelsea's bench, as you mentioned earlier, is very strong. So a couple of good subs to bring on. But
I would have been tempted to give Werner another 10 minutes, but again, coming off a miss he had against North Macedonia as well, I think, which is a bit of a shocker.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, Giroud, I think Tuchel was talking in the press conference about, him knowing the Sevilla stadium and everything else. What's going on there? Someone's gone down. I think he's trying to claim that Reece James has done him or something there, or given him an elbow. I don't.
No, it was a forceful challenge, but there was no elbow.
Wow, that is a massive overreaction.
Yeah, tell me about it.
The Portuguese boys are supposed to be tough. That is awful. I mean, God, he's trying it on big time.
Yeah, comes to nothing in the end.
Yeah.
Yeah, I reckon they'll be looking to play the balls over the top with, as you rightly said earlier, not for Drew necessarily, but Pulisic with his runs from deep.
Yeah. I'm now going to predict a Giroud layoff. Pulisic. I fancy Pulisic for an absolute world here. I sort of, like Maradona's got against England. We'll get one of them. So watch out for that. I got my prediction right in the previous game. Muller's just scored for Bayern, honestly.
Oh, was it 2-2, was it?
Yeah.
That sounds like a great game. This ain't been a bad one, actually, I've got to say. Obviously not
very tactical game, yeah.
It's not been the headline quarterfinal in comparison to the other 3, but still it's been an enjoyable watch, I've got to say, for me personally as a neutral, and obviously you as a Chelsea fan. I think you've it's been decent by Chelsea, but Porto have I think been pretty impressive. But I think while Porto have had a number of shots, not a huge amount. I've really tested Mendy, to be fair.
No, I think it's been extremely even. I think the game, and I wouldn't sort of argue with someone if they thought that Porto had edged it really on balance of play. But again, I think when we've really opened them up, which has probably happened about 3 times, really had a chance. They're really good chances. Broadly, they've been probably more dominant in terms of their chance. They've definitely had more chances. They've had more shots, but
in terms of that, the key chances, you'd say Chelsea have had the fair share, the lion's share of that. Obviously, with the goal, so clearly they have.
Yeah. And I think, again, that was a bit of individual brilliance by Mount to an extent. I mean, opened up with that mistake, but that finish is, he's in big form, big confidence at the moment.
Yeah, obviously great from England point of view. He's got to be one of Gareth Southgate's first names on the team sheet, along with like Harry Kane and Raheem Sterling. You'd have to say, and maybe Declan Rice is another one as well.
I hope so, and I think there was a big. I remember when Grealish first played for England, there was a big deal made of, Mount should be Grealish, but they're different players. They're different players, and I know people, mostly Villa fans, say Grealish does defensive work. Not like Mount does. They're different players, and they can definitely both play together. They probably should both play together. Grealish should probably be starting for England, I would say.
That's the thing, mate. I mean, I don't know if you've watched it, but I watched it last night before I went to sleep. Ball in the box, turn. Oh, yeah, easily held in the end by Mendy from Marega. Turning the shot, but no real power on the effort. Obviously, Monday Night Football was Carragher and Neville picking their England 23-man squad, and both of them did pick Jadon Sancho, which was a surprise.
Yeah, they're wrong.
But I think Yeah, I agree as well. But I think that just sums up the depth we've got. You've got to leave someone out.
Well, I say they're wrong. I don't know. I think I did mine on my phone the other day, and in fairness, I don't know whether I Sancho in it. I think I was debating. I think that was a difficult one. Let me have a look at my phone.
But
But
I think that just sums up. I mean, we've said I think this has been tougher to pick than the World Cup squad, and we've got more attacking players to pick from.
yeah, it's really tough. I mean, I would only probably take. I would be slightly tempted to only take two out-and-out strikers in Kane and Calvert-Lewin. I would really like Ollie Watkins to go, but I don't know. And if I could get him in, I think. Well, we're going to play 3 up basically, and from the right, Grealish and Rashford have got it, and from the left, I would say that's from the left. From the right, Sterling and Foden are the front runners. Jadon Sancho is a super duper talent. He's had a down season and he's still incredible.
He's got his best 23 players that England have. He's got to be in there. He's got to be there, surely.
I think so. The problem is coming, for that position. Phil Foden has been spectacular and plays best from that position.
Yeah.
And Raheem Sterling plays out there, and he's, an elite player at an elite club. So it's very difficult. I don't know. It's very, very tricky.
It's a problem I don't mind us having. I've got to be honest. No. I really don't mind it.
If we're good enough that we're leaving Jadon Sancho out, then
that's scary.
Well, people can't talk about us not being contenders.
Oh,
they really can't.
Oh, yeah. We've got whether we'll win it or not is another issue, but we've got to be one of the favourites.
Yeah, I've been thinking we will win it, but
especially as one of the semis and the finals at Wembley, isn't it?
Yeah, semis and the final at Wembley.
Yeah, so yeah. No, I think it's a. Oh, it goes. Oh no! I thought the ref gave a penalty. Then Marega went down in the end far too easily. I think the refs had a great game. Where's he got to say? Let the play go on. When players have dived, he's told them to get up.
Yeah, I think I've got to say I thought the ref in the Liverpool game was very, very poor yesterday. Liverpool, it was all about him. Like a Graham Pole performance, I'd call it.
Pushing the back by Azpilicueta. Oh, that's no way. That's just hands on the body. That's not a push.
Yeah,
that is no way a penalty kick. Absolutely no chance. But do you see the foul that Bellingham apparently made? That is like the least non-foul I've ever seen in my life. It was a joke.
Well, it shows how poorly that VAR is being used. I think people are getting sick of VAR because of the really poor way it's been implemented. And that is an example. If the ref had shown a bit of humility or a bit of self-control there, they would have had a goal. Also, I think I've got Bellingham in my squad.
He's got.
I've got 5. I've got Rice, Phillips, Henderson, Bellingham, and Mount as kind of centralish midfielders for England. So I would take him. He's no joke. He's a serious talent.
He's got to be in there.
Yeah, and if you're chasing the game late, you're not getting rid of Rice. Phillips for Bellingham seems to be a perfect substitution, perfect option. He's the nearest player I've seen to him, and I've not seen tons of him. So I don't, I'm not as much as you see a player in the Premier League play. But when I've seen him, he has got that Yuri Tielemans thing about him that he can put out great defensive work, but he's classy passing between the lines. He can improvises and reads the game at that age. Like really special talent. They know a decent young player at Dortmund.
Well, they've got fabulous players they've got in there. So
massively underperforming this year, but
Porto's manager's been yellow carded there. That's a strange one. I don't know what that was all about. He gave the ball back to his player, and he's been yellow carded.
He looked like he almost stuck his foot onto the pitch.
Oh yeah, good spot. Yeah, that might be why.
I don't know if we'll see a replay of it.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, it was a bit touch and go. Yeah, good shout, mate. I'd say that might be why.
We should get out of the play. He's better than them. I'll be disrespectful. They're really, really good. But he was a special player.
Yeah, they're just showing that. That is not a foul. Oh my god, the delay that Marega has, Azpilicueta's hands on his back, and then a second later, then falls down to the ground.
Just seeing it.
That's rubbish. It's been got a bit bitty this last couple of minutes, but it's suit Chelsea down to the ground. But Porto need to either make a couple of subs. There's got some options from the bench, but just need to get the ball in the box a little bit more.
This is spicing up a bit now. Their pressing is super aggressive. I mean, two things. One, I think actually Azpilicueta is a little bit lucky there. I think that he's maybe more than a penalty than the push on Carrasco that a lot was made of in the last game. So that's maybe a bit of a shout. I'd have to see it again. But to me, that looks like he's actually made some forceful contact. The other thing is this could be a really good, because they're really pushing us now. They really want it. The other thing I was just thinking is, if you showed me both halves of this game and you somehow kind of changed the strips and disguised it, and you asked me which one was Atletico and what one was Porto, I wouldn't get it right. I would expect these to be the super well drilled, really defensively disciplined, really clever on the press, get a bit of gamesmanship, a bit of street about them, rather than Atletico, who were a bit of a damp squib in the end, and they're a little bit toothless. These have looked they're much more competent, and it makes me think the manager's got a bit about him as well.
I think they looked. I think Porto in this 75 and a half minutes now. I think they've looked a lot more threatening in this game. It's not even finished in both legs that Atletico played against Chelsea. I've got to say. Yeah,
we'll see what the numbers are after, and people do their XG and all this kind of stuff. But I think they've looked more I'm sure they'll have more XG than Atletico had in the second game, certainly.
Porto have had 12 shots, and I'm not sure if Atletico had 12 shots in both legs. I'd say combined.
Possibly not.
But I think there's still time for them. I think they haven't had that one. Obviously, Mendes made a couple of routine saves, but I think they just need to force him into like a worldy save, or have a gilt-edged chance, which has probably been the only thing missing from their play, I'd say.
Yeah, they look like they're missing. I mean, I don't even know at the best of times, but they look like they're missing an out-and-out killer up front. Again, if they had Luis Suarez, that would have gone. But again, it speaks to a little bit, although they are routine, those saves by Mendy, he gives a lot more confidence than Kepa.
You showed that when he first came in, didn't he keep? You all know, Wiz, but didn't he keep like 6 or 7 clean sheets in a row?
I think he might have. I think as soon as he came in, you felt, this is more like it. Like every time the ball was, he's made his errors. He made a big one against Everton. We didn't lose us the game.
Yeah.
But he's a goalkeeper, so that happens. I think broadly he's been much, and I think he's made actually a quite big difference. I think if we'd had Kepa all season, I don't, it's hard to know exactly what state we'd be in.
No, definitely. Looks like Chelsea's going to make a couple more subs in a minute when the ball's next out of play. I think Kante is one of them, I could see.
Okay, so he's fit enough to play some part here. That's good. And Thiago Silva, so looks like we're shoring up. Would that be Mount off maybe?
Tuchel's playing for 1-0 to Chelsea, it looks like, which can't really blame him, to be honest. The away goal, crucial.
Well, that's what you predicted, and as I said, I'd take it, and I'd definitely take it now having seen this.
Yeah, absolutely. So, it's been a bit quiet from it. Well, it's been a midfield battle this last sort of 10 minutes or so, which, what a ball that is. Oh, again, good defender by Azpilicueta. He's had a top game here, I have to say, the captain tonight.
Yeah, I think Drew, I don't know whether Drew's touched the ball yet.
No, not yet, from what I've seen.
He may as well start deeper if he's going to, be completely factored out of the game.
Porto keeping it. Oh, Jesus. That is the foul if I've ever seen one.
Let's have a look.
I'm trying to think. Trying to see who. Pulisic was fouled by the look of it, and there's a yellow card for.
Grujic. Yeah, mate.
Grujic, number 16. I think Pulisic nicks the ball, Oh Jesus, yeah, that is a shoulder barge.
Live, that looks terrible. Live, it looks
Yeah.
like
Even the slow mo doesn't look like it's a yellow clear yellow, and he's been Grushic's been there.
I mean, it looks like he's hit a wall. That's the thing. I'm just watching the replay now. Oh, yeah, that's a nasty one.
Yeah, so you're right, mate. Mount's gone off, and Kante's on.
Yeah, very robust midfield now we got there.
And it's Reece James off now, and Silver's on, so that means as for the right wing back.
Defensive option out there. Yeah, very sensible stuff. I think we talked at half time. Is it for Chelsea to do the running and do the progressive things and try and make the game, or is it for them to do the sensible things and work on their strengths and be a bit more risk averse? And I think we've done the latter, and I think it's the sensible thing. This is a Champions League quarter final. This is not an under-18 cup game. This is the highest level you can play.
Yeah, I think it's just one of those classic. I say away games, but new. Oh, good ball that is. Oh, doesn't lead to anything in the end. Is Rudiger? Yeah, I think it's one of those. Technically, a away game for Chelsea, even though it's a neutral venue, but it's one of those classic Champions League knockout round matches where you're not at your fluent best, but you get the lead and keep a clean sheet, get an away goal, and that sets you up perfectly for the second leg.
Yeah, I think we might get another goal here. I think we might get another, and I don't know. They need to remember that the second leg is not at Stamford Bridge. It's another game, and if they show this quality, they might have a little bit more luck. But I don't know. I see them; they're getting a bit ragged now. I think it's been a brilliant and a really good tactical and a really courageous performance from Porto.
Yeah, no, they've been impressive. Yeah. But still not out of it. Yeah, just gone 81 minutes, so about 9 minutes plus stoppage time. So you'd fancy them; they'd have one more opportunity to equalise in this game.
Yeah, I think 10 minutes have created enough in this game for us to still be extremely wary, and I think the substitutions reflect that too, as well aware.
Yeah,
I think I'll be very interested to see his post-match. I think he'll be very charitable towards them, and rightly so.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't disagree with that. Is 3 subs for Porto. Just trying to see. I think one of them's Tony Martinez. I think formerly of West Ham.
Oh.
Yeah, they just come up on the stats. Yeah, 12 shots for Porto, just the 4 for Chelsea. Oh, is Kante through? Oh, what a block that is by I think it's Mbemba. Oh, it's proper challenge that is. Yeah, Kante was through there, but Mbemba went. You shall not pass. Oh, that's a brilliant challenge. Had to time it right. Had to time it right because I'm sure he's on a yellow, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. Yeah, bit of Bobby Moore's about that, and that is high praise. Yeah, incredibly well timed. Although a marauding run from Kante.
Yeah, it was
lovely to see. Again, something that people haven't given probably Sarri sufficient credit for. I think developing Kante as a sort of a more attacking or more rounded midfielder, certainly.
Yeah. Yeah, so 3 self-support. One of them is Tony Martinez, a striker, formerly of West Ham, as I say. And then you've got Fabio Vieira and Conceição. So 3 subs there made for Porto, and they've got nothing to lose if they've got to try and go for the equaliser if they can. But then again, actually saying that, it'd be a disaster if they concede a second goal.
It really will, and it will be one they don't deserve. So I think if I was them, I'd be saying, look, 1-0 is not the worst result in history. And when we've got a return leg at a neutral ground, let's, and we're.
Oh, that Pulisic! Oh, it's the bar! Oh, what an effort that was! Cool, that could have killed this tie. Pulisic sub, that's a fantastic.
That's it. Well, I'm just watching it, and that's it. That's Kovacic broken field, and then Pulisic. Yeah, I think that's in a tight game where they really have in some ways had the measure of us in terms of negating our build-up play. Those are the moments. But yeah,
God,
I was hoping I was going to get another prediction right there, but
oh no, mistake! It's Chilwell. He's through a goal around the goalkeeper. 2-0 it is. What a run that is by Ben Chilwell.
What's the clock on that? When did I say that? 3 minutes ago, Wesley?
Oh, that's
I'm
a
going to
bad
have to watch
mistake.
all Chelsea. I'm going to have to watch all Chelsea games on here.
It's a bad mistake by Porto. They've had a bad couple of minutes, and
oh, that's good from Chilwell. Oh.
That's absolutely amazing by Chilwell. I think it's Kovacic plays the ball over the top, and it's a bad mistake by I'm trying to see who it was, but rounds the goalkeeper, and then sticks it in an empty net.
Well, I don't know who the chap was who messaged in earlier, but I'm just glad that wasn't Timo Werner. He probably would have found a way to hit the corner flag or something there with his confidence. But no,
great.
Brilliant.
I tell you what, I know fullbacks are very attacking nowadays, but that is some composure by Chilwell.
It really is. To take the goalkeeper on like that, that'd be an option almost. Maybe he's made his mind up. He rushed a little bit, but yeah, fantastic, and hopefully that settled your fans' nerves there.
Oh, absolutely,
yeah. I think after that period from sort of 75 minutes where they really consolidated a bit and did well, but they started to look ragged, started to look a little bit out of position.
Yeah.
Presses like that work when everyone goes together and things like that. When they don't, then you pass through them. And when you're playing against us and we're in a decent moment, yeah, that's what can happen.
Well, we just said it. We said it, mate, didn't we? They hit the bar and Pusic, and then we said, a second goal is obviously not what they want, and it's gone and happened. A couple of real good bits of quality from Chelsea for probably the first time in the second half, and it's definitely not tie over. We've seen some huge comebacks, especially in the last few seasons in the Champions League. But my God, that is such a key goal for Chelsea point of view.
We don't know how big it will be yet, but on the face of it looks massive, doesn't it? 1-0 at a neutral venue, but 2-0 with them having to do all the running. I wouldn't put it past them. I think they've been really, really good again. I think they've actually let themselves down with these last few minutes because they've not allowed us very much, except we just hit the bar and scored. And you could actually say the two goals have come from quite directly from errors, really.
Yeah, it was Corona. He's a midfielder, but he's filling in at fullback. It looked like, and you could tell there he's not a defender. Just slips, and then the fence opened up like the Red Sea.
Yeah, exactly. Problems. Yeah, I mean, I think I actually feel for them watching it. I think they deserve more. I think they've been smart. They've shown big endeavour. I think they've done a lot right. He knows. He's just in a replay of him. He knows. So, yeah, very difficult for them. And I do actually. I think probably the Chelsea fans watching this will think actually really over the moon with the result, but I don't think they'll feel that was a cakewalk. And I think the commentary after will probably say it doesn't tell the story of the game entirely. I think they did a lot of the good things in the game. I still think we could get another one.
Yeah, you might need to take the lead for a bit, Wiz. My pictures are completely gone.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it's gone. Oh no, it's back. Here we go. Just as I say that.
Yeah, this is it. The movement now between Kovacic, Pulisic is really hurting them. It's just drawing them out of position. You just see them.
Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah. I think Kovacic's been impressive tonight from what I've seen.
He's been good. He's a really fantastic player. He doesn't get a lot of credit. He's ball over the top there to Giroud again. Yeah, not Giroud's strength necessarily, but he's a really good player, and he's I think he came into not a lot of fanfare, but I was really thrilled when we got him from Real because he was exactly what we needed. We now do need to look what happens in terms of life after Kante and possibly after Jorginho. I think has been a good servant for a little while, but I don't know whether he's going to be a long-term solution to our problems. But yeah, it'll be very hard to replace the likes of those. And Kovacic can do so much in the game. He's a pretty complete midfielder. So yeah, we need to sort of build it around him a little bit now.
Yeah, I'm sure Tuchel's gonna do that. So about 30 seconds away from the 90 minutes. So there'll be a bit of time. There's been a few subs in there. So if Chelsea can keep this 2-0 lead, then they'll be huge favourites going into the second leg at this same venue.
Definitely. And I think, despite the good showing from Porto, I think everyone would probably agree with that. 2-0 is a serious deficit. We get one goal, they need 4, right? So,
yeah, exactly. Yeah. Corona with the ball in. Oh, Mendy, fantastic. As well to hold on to that one. It's 3-minute stoppage time. It's been lifted by the fourth official. So you just need to keep the ball a little bit, Chelsea, and then 2-0. Go home, start the car.
Yeah. And again, that sounds a little bit. I think I don't think any Chelsea fan will come away from this going, "Oh yeah, that was business as usual." I think this has been much more of a test.
Then they've had to work hard because if Chelsea, obviously not been amazing, but they've had to be on it from minute one because Porto haven't made it easy. And another day they could easily a lesser side would have crumbled tonight with the pressure that Porto put on.
Yeah, I think there was some questioning of character, or what would the response be after West Brom and coming into a Champions League quarter-final is amongst the biggest tests. And I think it's been answered actually because they have exerted severe pressure, and there has been good resilience in the game.
Yeah, well, Kovacic's coming off. He's had a fantastic game, as we've both mentioned, mate, and Emerson's coming off for a brief cameo for a couple of minutes.
Yeah, we're doing the 6 at the back now.
Yeah, with 2-0 lead as the away side, you can't blame Tuchel.
No, and again, I think there was a feeling it was sort of a bit of a tactical masterclass. I think people really slagged off Atletico, but I think Tuchel got his credit for that. And I think this, I'll be really interested to see his post match and see what he has to say.
Yeah, I think on the whole, I think it's been a professional performance by Chelsea. Not been flourishing free flowing, but they haven't shit house this win. So they have shown some good quality, as shown in both goals. I mean, yes, could say a couple of mistakes from Porto, but they've capitalised. It's been 2 good quality goals from Mount and Chilwell. So it's been decent from Chelsea, and you can't really begrudge them winning. They've shown the better quality in the final third, which is obviously what counts.
Yeah, and you can't. I think Porto won't be happy with the result naturally, but I think they will see that a lot went right in the game. It'll be interesting to see what Conceição says, but really,
last chance for Porto, free kick. Here we go, about 40 yards out, I think. Cross comes in. Oh, beats everyone. Is that offside? Yeah, well, ref's blown his whistle, so literally a matter of seconds, and then there will be this first leg will be all over. Rudiger's got a bit of cramp there, bit of time wasting.
Perfect.
Yeah, I think a few players were offside there. So Chelsea held their defensive line very well there. And on the whole, I think Chelsea have defended very well. Rudiger in particular. Well, Rudiger, I think Christensen and Azpilicueta, I think as a three, they defended excellently. And as Chilwell and James, for that matter, I'd say, before we went off.
Yeah, they've done well. In the light of what Porto have done, and I think
there we are. It's full time. There we are. Porto 0, Chelsea 2. Very important win for Chelsea, bouncing back from that surprise result, should we say, against West Brom on Saturday. But despite a good showing by Porto, I think you'd be happy, mate, with with that win overall, surely.
Yeah, really happy. Really happy with that. And not 4-1. But good. And I think before, if you said 2-0, I think you'd say 100% take it. I think having seen the game, even more so. And, the people watching this, I'm sure, hopefully many of them Chelsea fans, would be thinking, not we've got out of this with a bit of a lucky one, but we've got out of it with a really professional, solid, as you said, it's not been like a kind of flamboyant, swashbuckling sort of performance, but it's shown actually what people now have started to rate about Chelsea is that, which people would never have said, 3 months ago, 4 months ago, which is about that defensive solidity, that steadfastness, that resilience in games, the feeling that they were in control, despite the kind of hysteria of what happened against West Brom. That can happen. Liverpool lost 7-2, 7-1, 7-2. So, yeah, it's a really sensational result, and I think it puts us. Yeah, I think I don't want to say it too loud, but obviously we're now favourites. I think for the second leg. To go through with this result.
Yeah, no, I completely echo what you said, mate. I think Porto, they gave everything. Sort of the odds weren't really in their favour because of the players they've got injured and suspended. But they gave a great showing. But in the end, Chelsea just had that final little bit of quality with the goal from Mount after 32 minutes, and then Ben Chilwell with a fantastic run and finish 5 minutes from the end. So. Porto had a number of shots, had more efforts than Chelsea, but Chelsea had those, that final extra little bit of quality with the final passes and obviously the finishes as well, which is probably the only thing really missing from Porto's play, you have to say.
Yeah, absolutely, and I think it's I think you'll hear a big cliche after this, which is you can't afford to make those kind of mistakes at this level. And that will be right, and it will be true. I know it's cliche, but it will be true. Yeah. Because apart from that, I mean, the goal, of course, releases pressure on us, and the final goal there releases pressure for the second leg upon us. So those mistakes aren't just a matter of the goals themselves; they're a matter of when they came in the game and everything else. So I think again, Porto will go away thinking this is probably a missed opportunity. I think they've really contributed to the game. And they've made the kind of billion of Chelsea as clear favourites, and kind of all that foolishness talking about whether Chelsea celebrated when the draw came out. They have put that in the bin because they've more than contributed to this game and can consider themselves unlucky not to be on the score sheet. So I think really, again, if I see an XG come up on Kaylee Graphics, I'll let you know. But yeah, I think they've been fantastic. But obviously, with my Chelsea hat on, over the moon with that result. And fingers crossed we can, show the same kind of resolve in the second leg.
Yeah, I mean, this is a weird one because both legs are being played at the same venue in Sevilla. So, but still, 2 away goals that are crucial in European competitions. But we've seen some big comebacks over the years, like Bayern beating PSG from a number of goals. And I think Deportivo against Milan a few years ago as well, I believe, going back. But it like Diego Tristan, that sort of era. So it can be done, especially with if they do get some of their players back. Porto, we've seen how much of a threat they are tonight, but I think Chelsea, there's more to come from Chelsea as well. So I think, obviously we'll watch the second leg closely, but I think I expect Chelsea to go through, get a couple of goals in the second leg and be fairly comfortable. But Porto, fair play to them. They gave everything, just as I say, missing that little bit of quality, and didn't force Mendy into a huge amount of sort of big saves. The saves he made were fairly routine, but it's just that as we've both said, and it is so true. The extra little bit of quality from Chelsea really paid off. So just before we finish off, mate, which players really stood out for you today?
I think in some ways Mendy, not that he had a ton of things to do, but again, kind of being traumatised by having Kepa in goal for a period, that kind of you come to appreciate Mendy even more. I think as for the Quetta, really, given how much threat they put on, how much pressure they put on, I think he did really well in the decisive moments.
Yeah, the amount of blocks he put in was
coming across, making right decisions to kind of to cover those things. I think Reece James was a continuous threat, and obviously the goal scorers, when it comes to it, showed incredible composure and quality, and they've ultimately been the platform upon which we built really a dominant position for the second leg.
Yeah, absolutely. I wouldn't disagree with that, mate. I think, the back three stood out. I think Kovacic with some very good runs in midfield. Mason Mount again. Keep saying it as two Englishmen. It's brilliant to see him continue his great form going into the Euros. Obviously got the decisive first goal. That's a fantastic finish. Yes, it was a mistake from Zaidu, but good ball forward by Jorginho, and the turn and the finish right in the corner was absolutely splendid. And and Chilwell, it was a mistake by Corona, but that shows the attacking threat and confidence that fullbacks have nowadays. Took the ball on, rounded the goalkeeper, and made it easy. I think, someone like Werner would have been happy with that strike and that effort. So, puts Chelsea, as we said, into a commanding 2-0 position. So, happy days for you Chelsea fans, mate. It must be obviously hugely confident going into the second leg.
Yeah, I think so. I think, especially in the context of what happened in the last round, where we got that good result in the first leg, and then we thought they'd really come for a second leg. But I think in many ways Porto, they were better than Atletico. They definitely were. What I'm pleased about is, even though they've got some goal scorers coming back, none of them are kind of killer strikers.
No.
So whether they don't have this sort of ludicrous talent to come and, like you were talking about Diego Tristan earlier, or a Neymar, or people who've been the architects, or a Divock Origi, but the people who've been architects of big comebacks in the past. I would hope they weren't there. But again, if they, if that early volley goes in, dips and goes in, and the header goes in, we're talking about quite a different game. And that sustained pressure can only be taken for so long. I think, they didn't create incredible clear-cut chances, but we still need to be, obviously, they're very dangerous, and we need to be wary in the second leg. But fantastic result. Everyone will feel very confident about it, I think. We'll be made outrageous favourites to go through now, probably correctly. But they might give us a bloody nose and a scare. An early goal.
They're certainly not out of it. They've shown their quality up to the final third, and if they can improve that and a little bit of luck as well, maybe a Chelsea error in the next leg. They had no errors whatsoever. Mendy in the defence, and obviously there was 2 Porto mistakes really for the goals. So you just never know. Obviously we've seen a lot worse. Bigger margins of turnarounds, haven't we? As the ones we've mentioned. So, wouldn't rule it out. But Chelsea. If we were doing like a sort of WinViz cricket style predictions, you have to say at least 60% Chelsea, surely. Maybe in a bit more.
I mean, to go through, I think people will probably be saying 90%, and I think that would be right. I think if you go and try and look at the odds now on Chelsea going through, see what you can get. You'll get, I don't know, 6-1 on or something. You won't get good odds. So I mean, I've got a clue what you get, but it'll be there won't be great odds for Chelsea. You won't get much back for your money. So it's hopefully we have that same professionalism. Wonder if we'll see a slightly different lineup, whether Havertz will play again, or given what happened when Pulisic came on and his kind of creativity, his ability to play very naturally between the lines, and his technical superiority to someone like Havertz. I don't know. We'll see. It'd be interesting, but I wouldn't mind seeing Ziyech or Pulisic, or maybe both. But I think Mount will probably appear again.
Yeah, I think that's for certain, mate. All right. Well, thanks for joining us, Wes. Enjoyed that. We'll see you on another one, mate. So thanks for joining us.
No worries.
Thanks for watching, everyone. Don't forget to subscribe to Garage Football if you're new. Like this video if you enjoyed it, and we'll see you soon. Thanks for watching. Take care.